I'm going to show you how to create a basic floor plan using SketchUp for Schools or SketchUp Web. When you first go in, create new, millimeters. On the left hand side you have your basic tools, which you should all know how to use by now. This is not a basic SketchUp presentation. On the right hand side there's a whole lot of other functions which we'll be using. There's ways to save and export your products up in this left hand side. Go to the rectangle tool, draw a shape on the ground. Just as you let go of the trackpad or your mouse, type in the exact dimensions that you want this to be. I'm going to make it 5,000 by 7,000. Return or enter. You can then use your tape measure, which is the third one up from the bottom, to measure out any other projections that you want to add in. I might do a little porch or something. You can then use the rectangle tool to draw those things in. Just make sure you're typing in exact dimensions again. It's just really makes your design so much easier to use if you're using, if you're rounding up to the 100 or the 50, it just is a lot easier, especially in a school situation. Use the eraser to rub out the lines that you don't need and the guidelines you don't need. Now we're going to put the walls in very quickly. If we go up to the push-pull tool and click on that, the third one underneath is offset. Hover over the shape on the ground. As you can see, a line has come up that's the exact replica of the outside line. Let go of your trackpad or mouse and straight away type in 200. I'll do that again, 200. And you should get a line around the outside that represents the width of the wall. What we're going to do now is draw in where we want our windows to go. And always use the measuring tape. It's really important that you're not just drawing things at random measurements, because if you want to add dimensions, you want them to be nice and even. Click from the edge, drag in and type in 400. I don't want my windows to start from the corner of the wall. It's just not realistic. You want them to be in a bit because that allows for a door frame and window frame and that kind of thing. You can then draw a square box rectangle where you want your window to go and draw a center line that represents, using the pen tool, the fact that this is a window. That is our Australian symbol for windows. You can look up how to draw other symbols in Australian architecture if you like. I'm going to put a little door in here. Again, I'm going to use my measuring tape. Doesn't have to be 400 in. That's just a nice amount that I was thinking of. You know, this door is pretty wide. It's 1400 wide, but that's okay. I'm actually going to make it into a split double door, which will be fun. You don't have to do that though. I'm actually drawing the curve that shows the opening of the door, which is a standard symbol that architects use to represent where doors open in floor plans. So if you click on the arc, I'm using the first one. It's a bit tricky to use, but if you play around you should be able to work it out. You need to click from where the center of the circle would be. Drag out and then draw. That didn't work. So click, drag out, and then draw like that. Click, drag out, and then draw. And that's my little door symbol, and I might actually do another door somewhere else to represent. Might do an actual wall, an interior wall. I'm going to make my interior wall just 100 mil thick. A little bit thinner than a normal wall. And comma. I'm just going to check and see how wide this wall would be. It's actually still quite wide, so I'm going to make this a bit longer. There we go. And 800 wide. So I'm going to draw an 800 millimeter long line. I'm going to draw my line from the center of where the radius would be. Click and draw. Okay, so now I've got another little doorway in there. Don't know what happened to that one. Right, so I've got a basic floor plan happening. I can just go ahead then and add some more windows, depending on where I want to put them. And I like to have things all neatly lined up. Wow. Okay. You can delete the person off. We don't need him for this situation. What you could do then is draw in some symbols for using the shape tools for beds and tables and all that sort of thing, straight onto the floor plan. You can also go to the measuring tape, and underneath the measuring tape, the second one down is dimension tool. If you click on that, you can actually add in some basic dimensions, which you might need for whatever project you're working on. It could be a student visual communication and design folio where you need to add dimensions in. I'm just adding very basic dimensions here. Obviously, I could go a lot further with that. Now to export this to put into, say, an Illustrator file for a final presentation or just as part of your folio, what you need to do is click on the glasses and hide the guides, the axes and the section cuts. Click on the little movie theatre thing, take it off perspective and put it in parallel projection, and click on the top view. Make sure that everything can be seen on the screen. Click on the triple bars in the top left hand corner, go down to export, PNG, and give it a transparent background. and export as PNG. And then you have a high resolution image that you can put in your folio or use for whatever project that you like.